Hey there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again. And man, this might look familiar. I just wore this damn sweater for my very first video. But hey, here we are, 8 months later. Man, I'm loving every second of it. So we're here watching Nostalgia Critic today, and he's doing Anastasia. I'm surprised he has not done this video a lot sooner than before. Because, you know, he always talks about this movie. He always talks about how Christopher Lloyd was replaced by, I can never remember the name of the guy, but he replaces Scar while singing Be Prepared. And he's also the voice of Cat from Cat Dog, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, all these people. I can never remember his name, and I can never look it up. But yeah, a prolific voice actor, one of my inspirations, even though I don't remember his name. It escapes me at the moment, but I'll eventually remember it. But he'll probably mention it in this video, honestly, because he'll be probably talking about when he replaced him for that song too. So yeah, I this movie is like pretty nostalgic for me. But I'll be honest, I used to love it when I was a kid. Used to love watching it. But then as I got older, I kind of got over it and everything because, you know, everybody's always like, oh, it's basically another Disney movie, but it's made by Fox. And I'm like, yeah, but still, it doesn't make it that good. Everybody wants to compare it to Disney movies. It's not. It's not. So, but regardless, it's a decent movie anyway. So, anyway, let's just get into the episode. And remember, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content. And let's do this thing, y'all. What is this now?
Mr. 26, come right in.
Party!
Mr. Anakin Skywalker, welcome back, sir.
That name no longer has any meaning for me.
Oh, Annie?
That's better.
Better.
Stupid AI voice. This deal is getting worse all the time.
Enchanted?
Name?
Anastasia.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, you're not on the list.
What? Oh, check it again, darling. Anastasia with 4 A's?
Sorry, ma'am. This club is exclusively for Disney characters only.
Exactly. I am a Disney princess.
Not according to the list, you're not.
Exactly, she's not.
Listen, buddy, do you know how much money I put down to get into this club? I paid millions to convince people I'm an authentic Disney princess.
Well, it ain't fooling me.
Impossible! I sing, I dance, I insult the original source material, I even got former Disney animators to work on me.
Sorry, Thumbelina.
Anastasia!
But if you're not on the list, you're not on the list.
You silly. Don't embarrass me in front of my fans. They all think I belong here.
I'm giving you 2 seconds to roam the hell off.
Have a heart!
Yes. Have you tried throwing money at it? That always works. Okay, bye-bye.
Mr. Chapek, great to see you again, sir.
Oh, Bob, you're the CEO. You have to let me into Disney.
Oh, I remember you. Princess Daphne.
Anastasia!
You used to work for Fox, right? Well, we bought Fox.
Yeah.
So technically, you are
You're
part
a
of Disney.
Yeah.
Good. Does that mean I get to go into your club?
No.
Since I am a part of Disney.
Why?
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it, so you don't have to. Well, Fox, you tried so hard to be Disney, you can't like you didn't get your wish.
Yeah, exactly. It does not reach that far.
1997's Anastasia was yet another attempt by a major studio to cash in on the Disney animated
movie.
formula. And to their credit, it wasn't a cheap attempt. They got legendary animators Don Bluth and Gary Goldman to helmet, who gave Disney a run for their money in the past, celebrity voices, top songwriters, some of Disney's past musical talents, and one hell of an advertising budget. I remember being 15 and being like, yeah, I don't like kids' cartoons anymore, but I got pretty hyped seeing their first look with pencil sketches and music on the big screen. Similar to, you guessed it, like Disney used to.
Yeah.
Fascinating discovery, the biggest con in history.
I also kind
remember
of liked
that.
it because it looked like they blew up the dog in the movie. Again, why I'm a cat person. So,
See, See, no mess.
To this day, I still hear a ton of people call this a Disney movie.
It's not.
It did well, the biggest profit Bluth made for a movie, but not
Lansbury.
quite the Disney numbers they were looking for. Part of the reason being Disney too was concerned folks would confuse this for their work, so they re-released The Little Mermaid on the big screen, coincidentally the same month for a limited amount of time.
Coming to theaters Friday,
That's
November
evil.
14th for 17 days only.
The company's a monster.
So I'll admit, when I first saw this, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but the advertising worked so well, I really was expecting something on the same level as the great Disney
right?
masterpieces, or
Yeah.
hell, the great Bluth masterpieces. Looking back, it is better than I remember.
See, like, I liked it when I originally, don't get me wrong, I did like it when it came out, but I could never understand why people thought it was a Disney movie. I was like, what are you talking about? It was never a Disney movie.
Possibly because I am missing hand-drawn animation with every passing year.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good film for kids, but kind of a messy one for grown-ups. That's not to say adults can't enjoy a ton of it, but there are a lot of tiny missteps that add up to a shaky staircase. It's not death by 1,000 cuts, it's more, by 100 cuts. Either way, it'll be cool to see these masters of animation again bring to life one of their most expensive and lavish-looking productions ever.
God, even that CGI horse looks
This
good.
is Fox's, not Disney's. At the time, Anastasia. The film opens in CinemaScope, the first one since In Like Flint to be shot that way.
Wow.
Yes, that is where the comparisons stop. Where we get a narration from Bluth's favorite actress to work with, the late Angela Lansbury. How do I know? I asked him years ago. Who are your favorite actors that you've ever worked with?
Without a blush, I can tell you. That would be Angela Lansbury. This is a woman that, you know, her persona on screen and on stage, you would never suspect. She's a very, very humble lady and eager to please and to help whatever she can. And this is the part that was the clincher for me. She didn't go out and buy fancy lunches. Every day she brought her own little brown bag lunch, and I thought, oh, that is so appealing.
There was a time when we lived in an enchanted world of elegant palaces.
Fresh off the backs of Russian peasantry.
Yeah.
On the wind.
Very true.
Across the sea.
Lansbury plays Dowager Empress Marie, who's in the middle of a big celebration with her family, including her granddaughter, Anastasia. Played here by Kirsten Dunst. Yeah,
Really?
she was to the 90s what DeVay Chase was to the 2000s. If you just need a girl, she was the go-to.
It plays our lullaby.
Read what it says.
It says you're doomed to be shot.
On that note, their confidant, Rasputin, played by Christopher Lloyd, is upset he wasn't invited to the baby shower, celebration, so he curses them to die via spinning wheel. Vague off-screen stuff.
Thank you.
Mark my words.
It's a rip-off.
You and your family will die within a fortnight.
And 20th Century Fox will exploit this historical bloodbath as a cuddly fairy tale.
Boy, I love how they freaking try to advertise Tsar Nicholas II as competent. He's like, what? This man is speaking to me. No, you were not competent. Rasputin was your entertainment. Jesus.
Yeah, okay, I guess I should talk about that. A lot of people at the time hated the historical inaccuracies of this, but if you're dumb enough to fall for it, you weren't gonna look up the truth anyway. Did anyone really believe this movie with a talking bat or Pocahontas with a talking tree really happened?
Thank you.
It's historical fiction, or I guess historical fairy tale. And even on that note, there are surprisingly a lot of historical Easter eggs. This drawing where Anastasia says,
Olga made me so mad. She said it looked like a pig riding a donkey.
she really did draw that, and that really is what was said about it. There really was a music box. Anastasia did love practical jokes. Vlad is loosely based on Count Vladimir Frederiks, the court minister. Even Dmitri has a slight connection to a European prince who swore he found the grown-up Anastasia based on his one-time meeting her in childhood. Give the movie credit, that's the most research I've ever done on the Romanov, so it's doing something right. It looks like a revolution starts and the royal family is under attack.
Anastasia!
There's Bartok the Bad. Kind of random introduction. Okay, later. Rasputin attacks but gets caught in the icy river. Wow, the animated Rasputin was surprisingly easier to kill than the real Rasputin.
I was frozen.
Anastasia is accidentally knocked out and left behind. And nothing bad ever happened in Russian politics again.
Nope.
10 years pass in Notre Dame. I mean, what's Hunchback? You're Hunchback. As St. Petersburg is buzzing about a rumor that while the Romanovs are dead, Anastasia may still be alive. It probably goes without saying the songs by Stephen Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens are pretty damn good. They're big, hummable, sound nice, and are extremely easy to remember. I have a useless observation, but hey, when has that stopped me before? I always found it humorous that an animated song around Rasputin and the Romanovs sounds eerily similar to an Animaniacs song around Rasputin and the Romanovs.
Really?
Since the revolution, our lives have been so great.
I really like Rasputin, cause I don't realize.
That's why. You know why? It's because they're trying to do the Russian music in the background, that's why.
I only like Rasputin, cause I am hypnotized.
That makes the song immediately bad and nobody can enjoy it.
But I like the way.
I said nobody, Susie!
It's the rumor, the legend, the mystery.
I am clearly not John Cusack who is singing now.
Yep, that's John Cusack as Dimitri, or will be when he's not in a song.
I have to remember that I bought it for someone in the fall of 1983, pile.
The biggest con in history!
That ain't you! And to be fair, all the singing is dubbed apart from Lansbury Peters and Kelsey Grammer, who plays Dimitri's friend, Vladimir. No, not that one. This guy wants to lie and cheat his way into riches. Well, that joke wrote itself.
Well, Dimitri, I got to the theater.
But these two are likable con artists, as they plan to say they found Anastasia all these years later and plan to get reward money for her. Little do they know the real Anastasia, played by Meg Ryan, has grown up in an orphanage, of course with a bout of amnesia, and is going out into the world now that she's grown up.
You go straight down this path till you get to the fork in the road.
What did you...
Wow, there's a lot. There's a lot of Don Bluth-isms in this movie. I know it was created by Don Bluth, but I have not seen this movie in forever. It's like I see... He may be a pioneer in animation, but if you look hard enough, a lot of his characters look very similar to each other. Like, seriously, that lady looked like one of the mice from American Tail.
Call me?
Send me a sign.
Hi, doggy.
Hi, doggy.
Ryan's okay, though her performance does feel like one long 90s rom-com quip.
Me? Go to Paris? Well, actually, why are you circling me? What were you, a vulture in another life? Grateful to get away. Who's to say I'm not a princess or a duchess or whatever she is?
Voice.
Don't give me a good-looking man to hate or I might love him.
Actually, the film seems to flip-flop between 90s rom-com, fairy tale Disney, and old-school Bluth. A lot of people said this was trying to mix too many different styles, but I respectfully disagree. I think these styles can go together in an animated family film, and part of the time, they do. In all honesty, I can point out all the issues of this film in 1.5 problems. The main problem I'll get to in a minute, but the half problem, I don't think the staging is particularly cinematic. The animation is still wonderful, and the background's often amazing, but the angles are usually pretty stale. See, here's the thing. Bluth does animate people, but they're not usually the focus. He likes his leads to be mice, dogs, baby dinosaurs, cats. All characters that welcome a variety of unique and interesting angles. You have to try to make what they see not interesting. Here, though, everything is mostly shot straightforward, like it's a stage play. I guess that makes sense, because this would become a stage play and Bluth himself directed a few stage shows. But because of that, there's not really a variety of angles. It's almost always a medium shot or a medium wide shot. Even the bigger shots look like something you would see in a Broadway musical rather than a cinematic epic. But I say that's a half problem because there are some shots that are very cinematic. Anastasia makes her way to the abandoned palace singing about how she feels like she's been there before.
My memory.
Now that's cinematic.
Yeah.
When you hear this hauntingly beautiful music, this is the kind of stuff you want to see. Imagery literally leaping out at you. The camera spins, swoops in, has all sorts of cool effects. Stuff only movies and animation can accomplish. It's a pretty cool number.
Hey!
Dimitri and Vladimir find her, though, and figure out quickly she looks very similar to the Grand Duchess.
Now, you said something about travel papers.
You said something about being on an offenders list? She says she has an amulet that indicates her family is in Paris, and they convince her she might actually be the lost Romanov. even though deep down they think she probably isn't.
Anastasia's dead. All the Romanovs are dead.
Meanwhile, Bartok, played by Hank Azaria and looking like the Fern Gully bat microwaved into Pinky in the Brain,
Seriously!
to find an ancient relic around.
In the dark of the night, people will find you.
Rasputin comes back to life and takes him to the underworld.
Who dares intrude?
Wow, for all that build-up traveling in between worlds, Rasputin's entrance is kind of underwhelming. A lot of characters are like that. Bartok, the return of Rasputin, even that dog I'm not sure we ever got the name for.
Puka.
Okay, shut up. But you get my point. They're all just kind of there. You think he's gonna get reintroduction like the Horn King, like really build him up, but jump cut, there he is. I'll also say, with the exception of him literally falling apart, Rasputin's not that interesting a Bluth villain. He gets a really cool song, arguably the best one in the movie. No, seriously, this is kind of a jam. But this imagery is nowhere near as threatening as previous Bluth films. While many of the backgrounds in the human world are lush and detailed, the backgrounds in the underworld are a little basic and kinda empty. And sometimes repeat themselves. Could be a time or budget thing, but it does lead to the film's biggest problem, inconsistency.
Yes!
And what, in my opinion, is the cause of that? I know it's gonna sound weird, but I think it's the editing. Now, editing in an animated film is vastly different from live action. Jeffrey Katzenberg figured that out when he wanted Black Cauldron to be re-edited and didn't allow the proper time or budget for it. In live action, if you want to extend a scene, you cut to a different shot or let the scene play longer. In animation, you have to create the shot from scratch. Literally, every frame has to be planned out before you film it. Many scenes in this movie, I think, were either cut down or weren't given the proper screen time to leave an impact. Here's an example. Watch the end of this villain song.
She'll be mine!
It wanted to start the next scene way too fast. Imagine if another great villain song got that treatment, like Hellfire.
Oh, yeah.
It just doesn't feel right, does it?
It doesn't.
A scene like this would work better if they just left a little time to take in what you saw.
Wow.
Be Prepared did that, remember? It had this big build-up, then just a little bit of black and a little bit of silence. I think you can do that here. Let's try it. I'm gonna add just a little bit of extra time at the end.
Wow! You see that?
It didn't take much, but it added a lot.
Yeah.
Yet a lot of songs end the same way Dark of the Night did.
One ticket to Paris, please.
Honestly, a lot of moments work that way. We have a nice long shot of Rasputin saying his evil plan, and then these weird choppy edits.
No, Your Grace. We're taking a bus.
A bus.
In fact, I'm pretty sure those are from other scenes. Again, animation's a bitch to edit, I understand, but movies are made in the edit, and there are noticeable problems in the transitions here. Like if I just randomly cut to commercial right now, that would be distracting. Our heroes catch a train, and again, to give you an idea of the tone change the odd edits add, look at this very typical rom-com argument and what it naturally cuts to.
I was only asking a simple question.
Attraction. Ridiculous.
Forgot we were in Ecto-Gremlins, right? The monsters attack the car with our heroes on it, and they try to make their way to safety.
And to think that could have been you. Well, this is our stop!
Okay, this isn't quite Lost World ordering Big Macs while calling for help, but there are too many singers in this. Jeez. So if the whole movie had choppy editing, it wouldn't be good, not even for kids. But moments like this are what help balance it out a bit. Vladimir convinces Anya that she is someone special, and though it's a short moment, it plays out exactly as long as it needs to. It allows the animation, acting, music, and even unique camera angle to really shine.
I see and fire a young woman who has shown a regal command equal to any royal in the world.
Too bad it's followed by Dimitri's Weinstein hands.
Not until you get this right.
I do not remember him coming off this creepy.
Baron Pushkin.
He was
short. I hear he's gotten very fat.
And I recall his yellow cat.
I don't believe we told her that.
Okay, so this is definitely a nitpick, but it feels weird not bringing it up. Should they have cut the opening? I guess not totally scrap it, but maybe sum it up in simple imagery like Beauty and the Beast, but instead of a stained glass window, it's a babushka, I don't know. But by seeing this as clearly the Grand Duchess, do we lose something? That cat line might have had more weight if we didn't know it was her. When she sings Once Upon a December, would it be more interesting if we didn't know it was a memory and maybe just illusions of grandeur? Would it be more chilling if we found out that song later was actually from the music box? Would Rasputin be more creepy if we didn't see him interact with the royal family and was just left to our imagination how it all went down? Here's the thing, it is meant for kids too, so you want to make sure they follow the story as well as you can, but I can't help but wonder if we'd be more invested if we legit didn't know if she was the real deal or not.
Maybe.
It'd be much more of a mystery if we thought maybe she was Grand Duchess Ariel. Yeah, you know that was a Fox note.
And suddenly, I see it at a glance.
As you'd imagine, Dimitri and her start to fall in love, and it's pretty cool that not only does Kelsey Grammer get a song to himself, he always has a great voice, but where most Disney musicals at the time had about 5 songs, this one has 7. Many Disney-style animated films usually do less songs. It's pretty cool that they did more in this one. Oh, and did I say there wasn't much old-school Scary Bluth in this? This scene might change my mind.
I'll get inside your mind where you can't escape me.
We're saving the scary eyes for Dimitri, thank you so much. It gets even more dark when he makes her sleepwalk, dreaming that she's returning to her family when really she's about to drown herself. This is actually pretty twisted.
Hello, sunshine.
Yeah, I always felt weird.
Come on in, the water's hell.
I forgot about that. That was scary as hell.
Dimitri wakes her up in time and, again, try not to laugh at how abrupt the tone changes.
It's all right. You're safe now.
This is like Snow White singing about her prince, interrupted by the scary trees out of nowhere. Rasputin rockets his way to the surface because I don't know, and they make their way to Paris, where they talk to Marie's lady-in-waiting, Sophie, played by Bernadette Peters.
How did you escape? A boy who worked in the palace.
Of course, Dimitri puts together that she's the real deal because he was that boy. But they'll have to wait because, like Disney, they know the importance of dolls with different outfits.
Be très jolie and so smart.
While I do think this is one of the lesser songs in the film, the art style is really cool, going neo-impressionistic.
I remember
I feel like this is one of the few things you wouldn't see in a Disney princess movie. It honestly kind of looks like a Bakshi flick for a bit. All that's missing is an animal saying something that get canceled today. Get dressed up for the ballet to meet up with Marie afterwards as Dimitri tells Vlad she's the real deal.
You will walk out of her life forever. Well, princesses don't marry kitchen boys.
We live in a world where dead people rocket themselves. It's just not reality! While watching the ballet of Cinderella. Just assume that'd be easy to make a joke about, but I'm surprisingly having trouble. Anya and Dimitri find they can't quite say the words they want to say.
Dimitri,
Yes.
I just wanted to...
Yes?
Well?
I wanted you to know princesses don't marry kitchen boys.
Bye, Felicia.
But we need that liar revealed / third act breakup, so she hears he was holding auditions for Anastasia lookalikes and now she hates him.
And I not only believed you, I actually...
It's not great, but it's one of the few times the fast editing helps because it's not focused on very long.
It's not.
Anya, please, you have to know the truth!
Well, guess I can't get past these 2 people that stopped me good. He drives Marie to Anya in a shot that maybe should have been rendered one more time. And we get another great moment that's allowed to play out.
Oh, God.
Again, it's
this
great
is the best
animation,
moment.
great music, and the acting is stellar.
As each isn't trying to prove to the other who she is, but rather themselves.
You're a very good actress. Best yet, in fact, but I've had enough.
There's a great moment where Marie doesn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Just her sitting down shows for the first time in a long time she's letting hope sink in once more.
Was our secret my Anastasia's and mine?
It's a really great scene, and again, stops me from saying there's nothing in this for grown-ups because this is a very grown-up moment.
Soon you'll be home with me.
They sing the music box lullaby and realize they are reunited. I think it's cool too that most movies would be wrapping up around this point, but this is only the beginning of the third act. We see her get used to living with her new family, trying to figure out where her and Dmitri should go from here. And of course, a confrontation with Rasputin.
Let the Grand Duchess have her moment. Then we'll kill her.
Right, and then we'll kill her.
That was a record scratch, everybody. All that's missing is Rasputin going, "What?"
I thought you added that.
I wonder if this is what you really want.
I found what I was looking for.
I found I love stepping on peasants.
He didn't take the money.
He didn't?
No, he stole it. Okay, it was a toss-up between that and this Spaceballs clip.
He just took 248 space bucks for lunch, gas, and tolls.
You decided I made the right choice. Rasputin
I've never seen
approaches Anya and
Spaceballs.
tries to finish her off, but Dmitri, again, just kind of appears.
No one can save you.
Wanna bet? Yeah. I remember
Come on,
that.
couldn't Rasputin turn to see him, or couldn't Dmitri see she was in trouble? Why is this film allergic to insert shots?
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool scene with the statue of a horse coming to life,
cool.
but again, there's not much of it, as the climax is pretty short, and Anya steps on the hell ooze, or whatever it's supposed to be.
Das Vidanya!
Bum 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 bum. Are you ready?
No, that's worse. This was honestly
Again,
worse.
If there was no interference, Bluth would have a solid minute of him melting.
Yeah.
The day is saved. Oh, wait, Dimitri's dead. Oh, wait, no, he isn't. That was a quick random thing to have there. And the two of them obviously decide to hook up. Okay, I'll wear it. They decide to get married, go back to live in Russia. May want to double think that.
Hey, yeah, right.
Oh, did we forget to write you in?
So long, everybody.
Looking forward to the spin-off movie where that won't be expanded on.
Yeah.
So that was Anastasia. Like I said, it does have a lot of little hiccups that can be distracting for adults, but I don't think they will be for kids. Kids will only focus on the pros, like the great animation, the characters, the songs. Where I think adults will see that too, they just might feel like something's a little off compared to other films like it. It is a movie that feels like a lot of fingerprints were on it and therefore doesn't have as much of a personal touch. But like I mentioned, Bluth did also do a spin-off film where they let him do whatever he wanted and not much more of the strange and bizarre stuff we expect from him. It's nothing phenomenal, but it is very charming and has a lot more creative creatures and angles, and is allowed to be exactly what it is without feeling rushed.
Yeah.
So I guess in some way, a fully realized Bluth film did come out of all this. But I don't know, Anastasia still has too many things to be impressed by. It's a fun film to admire, but also pick apart. Its faults weirdly suck me into it more, like trying to figure out where is that line between mainstream conveyor belt and unique one of a kind. I've grown a soft spot for it, even if I can't say it all comes together for adults. I did a review of Jimmy Neutron last week comparing it to a Super Soaker. Mainly for kids, but adults can admire it for its creativity. Maybe this is like the fancy dollhouse version of that. I can't say it entirely wins me over, but man, it is impossible not to be impressed by it.
Yeah.
And in an age where hand-drawn animation just isn't as prevalent as it used to be, I think that goes a very, very, very long way.
So, wow. I totally, I remembered that one scene, but I didn't remember how emotional it made me. Because as soon as I saw that scene, I was like, oh my God, I think about this scene all the time where she finally meets up with her grandmother. And yeah, it got me emotional as hell. And yeah, it's a very good, you know, I might have been a little bit hard on this movie. I don't know why I was so hard on it now, but you know, I guess I hadn't seen it in a while, and I remember being disappointed by it last time I watched it. But yeah, there is a lot to admire about it. Again, the animation is beautiful. Don Bluth really went to town on that movie. I bet you the poor guy was probably like, this is probably like my magnum opus, but you know, he probably had to cut and edit, and I'm sure all those edits were not his fault. And you know, he probably I think I heard somewhere that he was a little disappointed about how the movie turned out. But again, like, yeah, if only he was allowed to see his original vision, maybe I'm sure it would have been better. Because there are a lot of great and emotional moments in it. I can't believe I had forgotten. But again, I haven't watched the movie in a while, and it's really good. And again, it's a very beautiful movie. I might actually sit down and watch that again. And I love how he was able to compare that with Princess and the Frog, because you know he just watched it. So, you know, obviously it's fresh in his head. He never would have made that comparison if he hadn't watched it recently. But yeah, honestly, it was a very good episode. I kind of figured this would be a good one. I'm surprised he didn't talk about the whole voice change between Christopher Lloyd and his singing voice, but I guess it's not as prevalent here. I guess he just wanted to talk more about the song. But yeah. Anyway, I loved the episode. I can't wait to see more. And please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content. And I'll see you on the next video, everyone.